Good evening, my fellow weirdos. Hey, I just remembered I forgot to mention to you a really fun fact of the last couple days. Besides the bullshit racist Afrikaners, the white Afrikaners, uh, that aren't refugees at all. There's some before them, too, by the way. They snuck those in without saying a lot. But did you hear that 17 or 20, I've heard different numbers, of El Chapo's family were ushered into the United States and given citizenship with their $5 million apiece offer? And do you think that money is going to America? That money could be your tax increases to your buddies. Just hand it out to everybody. But he's not going to do that. And he's cutting our fucking money and bringing in white racists from South Africa, El Chapo, who they have been bad-mouthing for a decade, into this country. Because he's got enough money, he can go live in all the other little places where they're going to be paying, or where they're going to be letting them build Trump places in Saudi and Gaza. He won't have to live in America, people. He can live in all those little places. Just trot around the globe when things get a little warm for him in one of the places. He doesn't plan on staying in America. That's why he wants this newer jet. Because he wants to go from country to country, flit around wherever it's convenient at the time and not legally a problem for him at the moment. So he doesn't give a fuck who he brings in here. He's just trying to make his criminal buddies happy. Oh, Chapo's family, people. Okay, anybody who's still with Trump up to now, try to explain that to me when he used that in the last 3 fucking elections since 16. Actually, invoking that name negatively. And now he's let 20 of the members of that family. Don't tell me some of these Republicans aren't getting kickbacks from the gun lobbyists. Oh my God. And all the while they're saying, oh, stop the fentanyl, stop the shit coming across our borders. And he's bringing it across. He's making pit stops for it to be done easier. Do you think that El Chapo's, as American citizens, aren't going to make it even easier for their shit to come through? Do you really think any of them give a fuck? They've got all the weapons they need to protect themselves. He did this El Chapo thing like right behind the Afrikaners because he knew we'd be pissed about that. How many of you have heard about that? That was it, $5 million a piece, or 500, whatever the fuck it is. And you're a citizen. Meanwhile, he's eliminating actual citizens and threatening citizens from other countries that happen to be or passing through or something. He doesn't care because he doesn't plan on living here, guys. He only plans on flitting through here once he's got the rest of his Trump properties across the planet. That's why he's so angry with Scotland for them being so pissed at him for him fucking them over. Because he wanted to have, it's like this homeless guy I knew, Joe. He had this fucking thing that it worked a year. He griffed off of like Morristown churches. Only Catholic church. Well, other churches too. He'd go to church, or he'd make me go. Like, he'd go with me. He would make me go because I wasn't Catholic. And then he'd go say, I have to go do something, and then he wouldn't come back to the end of the thing. And I'm like, but he'd scam the religious, people in charge. I don't want to say in particular because he used any kind of church, but he favored Catholic because he was from an Italian family apparently. So anyway, he'd scam 4, 5, 6 of the churches around. Okay, get money for like for a boarding house or something, and then go and drink it and blow it and whatever. And then he would, because he was homeless, he's just slept in bushes and shit. Then he would like go to the next town, and he'd like go to Madison and spend 2 months, 3 months there, 2 months scamming as many churches as he could there. And when they started catching on, he'd move to the next town. He'd go to Dover or Denville, Lake Paca. He'd move around, and he'd scam all the churches, and he'd know the churches. But see, a lot of the churches, they won't do something for you like every month. It's like once a month. Some of them are once a year. Most of them are once every 6 months. They'll help, like programs that help you with like utilities or something like that. They won't help you every month if it's a consistent thing. But if it's like, I think it's once every 6 months, and some are once a year. So he knew which ones were which. And he would just play this thing. And he had like 4, 5, 6 towns on his like rotation. And he would just, when he'd start feeling like his welcome was wearing out there, he'd move along. By the time he came back to that town, it'd been 6 months, and they'd let him scam him again, They'd think, oh, he's changed, and he'd scam him again. And he just kept doing that. Was his cycle. He didn't have any stability. He didn't always have, most of the time, an actual roof over your head place to sleep. He didn't know if he'd have food or not. He'd always wound up finding beer, though, alcohol. And yeah, you're seeing something too. And yeah, he would just play this grift. And that's kind of what Trump, I think, is kind of thinking about doing, because he really wouldn't want his kids, his grandkids, in the, this kind of stuff, and some of it. But you can go to the other countries that aren't stifling all the arts and the, that beautiful side of life. So he can go live in those where his little Trumps are, 4 months there, 4 months there, 4 months there, 4 months there. Move around, never get tired, never get bored. I have a gut feeling that that's his little plan. Never stay in one place too long where the courts can catch up with you. I could be wrong, but he's letting in the people that even before he got into politics he disliked, talked badly about. And those are his fucking buddies now. I just want to let you all know about the El Chapo shit. Fucking family is here in America. Yeah. Peace out.